Roger Federer may have taken a sorrowful farewell to tennis after his final appearance at the Laver Cup in September, but that does not mean his reign as the highest-earning tennis player has ended. What actions does he take to maintain his position? What do we know about Roger Federer's contribution to prize money growth, and how does it impact his wealth? Here is what we know so far. Keep watching. To begin, let's look at an overview of the subject. Federer decided to call it quits on a career that saw him win 20 Grand Slam tournaments and garner widespread recognition as the game's all-time most popular player. Forbes estimates that he made more than $90 million in revenue in 2018, although he did not win any prize money while competing on the court in 2021. Despite this, he was still the highest-earning player in the game. Federer and his management team are putting together a legacy that will ensure he continues to bring in tens of millions of dollars each year, so they will likely be able to replicate that number this year and for some time in the future. Moving on, long-standing deals. Federer has some long-standing agreements that will ensure the money keeps coming in, with longtime sponsor Rolex set to keep Federer on as an ambassador even after he retires. Wilson Sports is also on Federer's list of sponsors, having supplied the Swiss maestro with his rackets throughout his illustrious career. That agreement will continue as his signature rackets are a big seller. Federer also has sponsorship deals with Moet and Chandon, Credit Suisse, Lindt, Sunrise, Mercedes-Benz, Sporting Goods and Barilla, NetJets, and Rimowa, with his image as a clean-cut sporting icon ensuring his appeal to sponsors. All of this comes before the two major contracts that will ensure his status as the most marketable player in tennis history continues to pay dividends for the next decade and beyond. Following that, new clothing deal. The first is his amazing 2018 agreement with the Japanese apparel brand Uniqlo. Following an enduring relationship with Nike that saw the clothing giant sponsor both Federer and Nadal during the most glorious era in tennis history, the first of those icons signed for Uniqlo in 2018. Federer stepped out in Uniqlo gear for the first time at Wimbledon 4 years ago with a staggering $100 million 10-year deal too good to pass up for a player nearing the conclusion of his career. After retiring with $130,594,339 in prize money, the Uniqlo deal is expected to pull in nearly 3 times that amount before it ends in 2028. Federer made an appearance in Japan earlier this month as part of that contract, and exhibition matches he is set to participate in will be heavily branded with Uniqlo. It was a terrific period with Nike, but life goes on, Federer said. Uniqlo and Mr. Yannet believed in me very strongly as being vital to their brand, even though my playing days may end at some point. Some have suggested that the Uniqlo deal is worth around $300 million. However, insiders have told Tennis 365 that this figure is incorrect. Next up, Federer's shoes. Those sponsorship deals are likely minor compared to the large revenue pool at the center of Federer's financial empire. Federer's decision to leave Nike allowed him to sign a new shoe deal, and he chose to invest in On Running during their formative stages of development. The tennis legend bought a stake in the Swiss firm, whose value has skyrocketed recently, with estimates putting it at $10 billion. On Running debuted on the New York Stock Exchange in 2021 with an estimated value of $7.3 million, and estimations indicate it may be a little higher. That would put Federer's stake at around $300 million, and rumors exist that the company may consider selling if that valuation is met. Federer's decision to leave Nike and sign long-term deals with Uniqlo and On Running has proven extremely profitable, with around $500 million in sponsorship and investment deals in place as he looks to the next chapter of his life after tennis. Moving on, Roger Federer's role in boosting prize money shared as old rival recalls hilarious tactic. One of Roger Federer's former opponents has stated that the 20-time Grand Slam champion assisted players in receiving increased prize money. Federer, 41, was on the ATP Player Council many times before retiring, and Sergei Stakhovsky has now revealed the approach he used to persuade the tour to pay players more. Federer retired earlier this year during the Laver Cup after being sidelined for 14 months following his third right knee surgery. Following his retirement, Simon Cambers and Simon Graf published a new book on his incredible career, which includes a contribution from another player who retired this season, Stakhovsky. During an interview for the Roger Federer Effect, the former world number 31 said that the Swiss star was responsible for players receiving more prize money. The Ukrainian is one of the men who can beat the 8-time Wimbledon champion at the All England Club, having defeated him in the second round of 2013. He also served on the ATP Player Council with the 103-time champion, a former council president who stepped down from the leadership in 2014 before being re-elected as a regular delegate in 2021. And Stakhovsky had now explained that Federer utilized his role to help players receive a larger cut from the tour in their prize money checks. After that, what does Stakhovsky have to say about Roger's impact on the prize money? Stakhovsky shared the amusing tactic that the Swiss star employed when he bargained with the ATP to help the players earn more. It was incredibly fantastic to have him, because having a Sergei Stakhovsky or Gilles Simon on the council is one thing, and having Roger Federer on the council is quite another. Stakhovsky stated in an interview for the Roger Federer Effect, "It makes a big difference when he's negotiating or presenting a case. He was critical to the increase in prize money. We had been dealing with this issue for several years. We'd been through a lot, and we had an excellent, solid background of guys eager to do something about it." The 4-time champion stated that he believed the circuit would never have agreed without Federer and Rafael Nadal on the council, and he described the moment he learned how the 41-year-old had secured an agreement for all the players. "And yet, I doubt we would have been able to push it if it hadn't been for Roger and Rafa," Stakhovsky added. "I recall Roger calling and telling us we'd gotten the large raise, and then we saw why." And revealing Federer's amusing strategy, the 36-year-old added he got the deal because he said, "We can either do the deal now, or you can go talk to Gilles Simon and Sergei Stakhovsky." It was kind of amusing. Moving on, Rafael Nadal is confident about the state of his foot. Nadal suffered a fractured rib in Indian Wells and missed Monte Carlo and Barcelona tournaments. The Clay King could not reach his typical level in Madrid and Rome, losing before the semifinals and casting doubt on Roland Garros' chances. With a foot ailment hurting him once more, Nadal needs injections to make it through all of the attempts in Paris. The King of Clay advanced past the first round, defeating Novak Djokovic, Alexander Zverev, and Casper Ruud to win his 14th Roland Garros title. Rafa was the favorite to be this year's top player heading into Wimbledon, but it was not to be. Following an amazing quarterfinal victory over Taylor Fritz, the Spaniard hurt his abdominal muscle and withdrew from the event. Rafa played only 9 matches since Canada, winning 4 and losing 4 straight for the first time since 2009, unable to recover at 100% by the end of the season. However, Nadal is optimistic about 2023 after resolving his foot problem, complementing his treatment and hoping to compete injury-free in the coming season. The previous season had varied phases and was fully defined by physical difficulties. However, all changed when we discovered an excellent remedy for my painful foot. This has greatly aided me. That drastically altered my outlook on my ability to compete at the highest level of tennis, Rafael Nadal stated. Finally, Stricker joins a star-studded Diriyah Tennis Cup player field. Stricker, rated 117th worldwide, finished his 2022 season at the Next Gen ATP Finals in Milan. Stricker advanced to the semifinals before falling to Jiri Lehecka. Stricker intends to compete against some of the game's best players in Saudi Arabia in the 2023 season. The tournament organizers are hoping for a successful tournament edition. The Kingdom continues to demonstrate its excellence in organizing international sporting events, which has made it home to a variety of sports, including this event, in which international stars will participate, that we are pleased to organize. The 2019 Diriyah Tennis Cup was a great success, attracting thousands of fans from the Kingdom and abroad. We look forward to continuing these achievements and watching great competitive games in historic Diriyah in the presence of tennis fans. This sport is extremely popular in the Kingdom. In this edition, Prince Abdulaziz bin Turki Al Faisal, sports minister and chair of the Diriyah Season Committee, stated that because Stricker is ranked outside the top 100, he most likely will have to compete in the Australian Open qualification event. It remains to be seen whether the Diriyah Tennis Cup can position Stricker for a successful 2023 season. Well, that marks the end of our video for today. We hope you enjoyed it. On your way out, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.